E-commerce brands are spending a fortune to acquire customers that they will never see again, but meanwhile, Netflix has 260 million people on their subscription plan and they barely think about cancelling. But this gap isn't random. Netflix has built one of the most sophisticated retention engines on the planet, and the playbook directly translates to e-commerce. Today I'm breaking down how Netflix keeps their customers hooked and how you can apply the same principles to your brand. If you're new to the channel, my name is Adam. I am the co-founder of Retention for Brands. We are a retention marketing agency for D2C e-commerce brands with over $100 million in revenue generated. So without further ado, let's dive in. So the first step of Netflix's playbook is personalization. And here's something that a lot of people might not realize. No two people on Netflix see the same homepage, and every element is personalized to the user. Netflix runs thousands of variations of artwork for the same show, and they want to show you the one based on your previous watch history that will make you most likely to click. That's why when you open Netflix, you feel that it immediately gets you, and that's the feeling that keeps people subscribed. And one simple way in which you can notice this is anytime you go to an Airbnb and you hit the TV, you go onto Netflix, you see some other random person's Netflix account, it does not look like what you would watch at all. Now let's translate the same principle into e-commerce. Most brands send the same product recommendations and the same emails to everybody, and that is a massive missed opportunity. You have purchase data, you have browsing data, you have email engagement data. The raw material is there, but most brands are not using it. And the shift is going from because you watched to because you bought. Put simply, if a customer has just bought a specific running shoe, you do not want your next email to be a random sales blast. It should probably surface socks that go well with that pair of shoes, or else insoles that other customers have bought with those pair of shoes. And the most sophisticated version of personalization comes from anticipation. A simple example of this is if someone has bought a 30-day supply of protein powder, you reach out to them on day 25 to restock, and not on day 45 when they've already purchased from a competitor. And that brings us on to the second step of Netflix's playbook, which is a seamless experience. The genius behind Netflix is they have obsessively removed friction at every single touch point. You open the app, your profile is right there. You pick up exactly where you left off, no matter if you're on your laptop, your phone, your computer, whatever that may be. It just works. Now think about how many e-commerce brands fail at this. With clunky cart and checkout pages, checkout flows that don't make it as easy as possible for the customer to return and place their order, email pop-ups displaying at the checkout, and experiences that are just not designed for mobile. Every unnecessary friction point is just another chance for a customer to leave your website. And the principle is very simple: reduce friction at all touch points. This means streamlining your checkout, or if you have subscription customers, making it super easy for them to add new products to their upcoming subscription. Funnily enough, we actually use a really good tool for this called Zamo. No affiliation whatsoever. We've actually just been testing it out for a lot of our clients and I've seen some fantastic results. It really does remove friction, so that's a simple example as to how you can do that for your own brand. Another way in which you can remove friction as well is if you're running a promotion, make sure that you have your code as an automatic code, if possible. That means that customers don't have to put in a code at the checkout, they don't have to go back to their email and check what it was, and it just makes the whole process so much more seamless. Now there's another little way in which Netflix completely separates itself. They have a My List feature, they have coming soon banners, new episode notifications, and they give you a reason to stay engaged. And e-commerce brands can do exactly the same thing. You would not believe the amount of 7 to 9 figure brands I audit who have absolutely nothing set up in their post-purchase experience. This is where most brands go silent, and it's where most churn happens. Instead, what you need to do is build touch points. Send delivery updates that build excitement, teach the customer how to use your product, or even make the customer's loyalty program status visible so they know what they're building towards. It sounds super simple, but a lot of e-commerce brands are not doing this and it's losing them a lot of money. Now that brings us on to the third step of Netflix's playbook, which is continuous freshness. And Netflix spend billions on new content every single year because they know the moment the catalog feels a bit stale, customers are going to start thinking whether it's going to be worth the price that they're paying. And that always something new mentality is something that can directly apply to e-commerce. The brands we work with the best LTV metrics are brands that release products continuously. So obviously that includes regular product drops, limited edition runs, and curated seasonal collections. And the funny thing is, it doesn't need to be massive. It could be something stupid simple like a new color, a new bundle, or a new collaboration. And you should really look at how brands like Gymshark or Represent do this, because they create launch cycles that feel like events. There's big anticipation, there's big scarcity, and there's a reason to check back in. Another point to mention is do not sleep on user-generated content, because Netflix absolutely thrives off social buzz. And e-commerce brands can establish the same dynamic through unboxing videos, customer reviews, and community content. So now we need to tie all of these points together, and that brings me on to the fourth step of Netflix's playbook, which is the loyalty loop. Netflix runs one of the most rigorous A/B testing cultures in tech. They A/B test absolutely everything and they iterate relentlessly based on data. Many e-commerce brands test their ads, but a lot of them fail to test their acquisition offer, their pop-up forms, their welcome series, their abandoned checkout. And seriously ask yourself, when's the last time you've properly tested your pop-up form? Or are you running experiments on your post-purchase experience? If not, you're leaving a lot of revenue on the table. Another super important thing to take away from Netflix's strategy is people don't just stay because of discounts. They stay because of convenience, value, and personalization. And that experience alone is a retention mechanism. Unfortunately, too many brands rely on discounting for their retention strategy, and it just becomes a race to the bottom. It trains customers to wait for the next coupon rather than buying because they genuinely value what you have to offer. The better approach is to build a value ecosystem. That could include loyalty programs that will reward engagement, exclusive access to new drops, or personalized experiences that make customers feel known. Now, Netflix didn't build 260 million subscribers by accident. They built a whole system, and that includes personalization, a seamless experience, content freshness, and a loyalty loop backed by data. And the thing is, every one of these principles is available to you right now. These tools exist. But what most brands lack is the clarity to build this into a cohesive retention system. If you found this video useful, please subscribe and leave a comment if you have a question down below in the comment section. I break down retention strategies like this one every single week, so make sure to come back next week for more videos. And if your brand needs help building a bulletproof customer retention system, hit the link down below in the description to book a free audit with myself. I will take this call personally and we'll put a plan in place for 2026 for your brand. And if not, no worries at all. You can download my free 130-page email marketing guide down below in the description as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you got some value, and I'll see you on the next one.